Time now for Focus, and today we bring you the story of Vian Dakhil, an Iraqi lawmaker whose efforts to help her fellow Yazidis have made her an assassination target. She lobbies tirelessly at home and abroad for more action and resources to help free women kidnapped by the Islamic State group. You may remember an emotional plea she made in Parliament in August 2014 that went viral. A France 2 team went to meet her.
At 44 years old, she spends every waking moment working at saving her people, the Yazidis. This ancient religious minority is reviled by ISIS. Militants have already kidnapped and tortured thousands of these men and women.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Welcome. This is one of those girls. I helped them to escape, to liberate.
Vian Dakhil is an Iraqi lawmaker from a very wealthy family. One day, she had the idea to buy back these women from IS militants with her own money by using an underground network of activists.
So I give this family about $17,000 for this family.
Some of her relatives in Syria got in touch with me to say that some people from the Islamic State group wanted to sell her. So I collected the money and I gave it to an infiltrated agent on the ground. He managed to buy her back and set her free.
Her battle to save her people started 2 years ago in the Iraqi parliament in Baghdad. An emotional plea that went viral, alerting the world to the Yazidis' plight. Before being bought back from IS militants, this woman was sold 8 times in the open market.
They would buy us just to rape us. A month later, when they were done with us, they would sell us to someone else. They separated me from my son. We have suffered so much. They would mistreat us and beat us. They made us suffer so much. We were becoming mad.
And this is her son Adel. The 7-year-old was forcefully enrolled in the Islamic State organization's army.
I
had to follow a jihadist all the time. He would take me everywhere, even when he would go slaughter someone. He would tell me, take a good look at how it's done, because soon you'll be doing it.
Oh my God.
I haven't slept well in the last 2 years. 2 years. I often think about those women still in captivity. It's almost like I was with them. And even when I try to think about something else, their life story haunts me.
Efforts to help her fellow Yazidis have made her an assassination target.
Yeah, tell me you are a kafir. We will kill you. It is not something easy, but I don't thinking about that because if I thinking about that, I cannot do.
2 years ago, Vian Dakhil almost died in a helicopter crash on the mountainside of Mount Sinjar during one of her own missions to rescue stranded Yazidis.
It's me.
In the accident, she broke her leg and several ribs.
It's a horrible memory. They believe in Sharia law. I believe in humanity. The message I want to send them is that my faith is stronger than theirs. I believe in justice, whereas they just massacre human beings.
Vian will continue her quest until every single one of the 3,600 Yazidis held captive by the Islamic State group in Iraq and Syria is released.
And joining me now in the studio is Flore Olive, who's reported many times on Iraq's Yazidis for the magazine Paris Match. Hello, thank you very much for coming in. Now, you've met Vian Dakhil. What's a typical day like for her? What do you make of the work that she's carrying out?
She's staying a lot at home, unfortunately, because she's targeted by Daesh, the Islamic State. And she's often in Baghdad in the parliament to try to make them understand how important is the Yazidi cause for her and for the rest of the Yazidi people, and for Kurdistan also, this part north of Iraq. But she's very heavy, well protected. So it's quite difficult for her to have a normal life and a normal daily life. But she's living in Erbil, by the way. Her home is in Erbil.
And when she's in Baghdad, what's the reception like? How are the authorities treating her? Are they supporting her fight?
Not really, to be frank, because she told us after the speech that we can see in this story, she told us that it was the first time that she dared to speak in the Iraqi parliament as a woman and as a Yazidi woman, and that it was the first time, by the way, that she had the feeling to be heard, to be listened, but after that, nothing happened really coming from the Iraqi government. Some of these people, of these men we can see in the parliament, they didn't even know what was a Yazidi. So
she has been using her own money to buy back women who were kidnapped by the Islamic State group. That is, some would say, controversial. Could it not, in fact, encourage kidnappings? She's saving women, but at the same time, perhaps giving the Islamic State group reason to carry on kidnapping.
Of course, that's a real question. A lot of Yazidi people, a lot of people of the Yazidi community are doing the same. I met a guy, he had about more than 180 people. The fact is that all these Yazidi people were kidnapped at the beginning of August in 2014. And since then, all the others are in camps. So they cannot be kidnapped again. So all these people, they buy, they are released, and after nothing can happen. Daesh cannot come in free zones and keep kidnapped Yazidi just for a ransom. It's just a way for them to make more money with them, and that's all. Daesh is looking for doing a lot of money with whatever they can. So Yazidi people now are a good way to make money, that's all. It's $5,000 to buy one person.
And can you remind us why it is that they're even targeting Yazidis? You say that in Baghdad, some parliamentarians don't even know who they are. Tell us a bit more about these people.
Yeah, they are targeted by Daesh because they are not, and before they were also targeted before, because it's a pre-Islamic religion, and it's a religion without any book. It's not a religion of the book, as we say, so very different from Christianism, Islam, or Jewish Judaism, and so they are considered and they have a lot of symbols like animals for God, for angels, and everything. So for Daesh people, they are like devil
worshippers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I understand that their culture means that these women who were saved, they're not necessarily reintegrated into their community very well. Not only are they going through the trauma of having been kidnapped and in some cases raped, but they're not being accepted back in.
Yeah, that was true before, really. It was very strong. But now it changed because so many women were slaves and are still slaves, that now when they're escaping, the family are forced to reintegrate them, because otherwise families told us we have to think in a different way, because otherwise we won't have any more women left in our community. And some families changed their mind until to push their girls, their daughters, for the father, their aunt, their cousins, their sister, to go to fight against Daesh in Kurdish brigades.
Are there many fighting on the ground?
There are quite a lot. There are quite a lot because they were defended by Kurdish forces when Daesh was in Sinjar region. So after the family has to thank the Kurdish forces from the PDK, from the YPG, and from also there was the Peshmergas, but from the YPG mostly they send their daughters to fight, and now you have a lot of Yazidi brigades involving in the fight on the ground.
Okay, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed, Flore Olive, for coming in from Paris Match magazine.